Shalom, my name is Yoshua Yaakov ben Avraham. I'm recording this video from Jerusalem. Its purpose is to describe, in general terms, the new central organizing principle of Humanomics. And what is Humanomics? Humanomics is the post-collapse of the local reality convergent model, East West Convergent Model, that comes after and replaces the model of exile, which was giving to receive, that has collapsed globally in both the East and West. And so the East and West converges into the center and the void, and namely in respect of Humanomics. And so Humanomics is the convergence model of the post-collapse of the local reality in general, and giving to receive in particular, which is now finished. And that central organizing principle is receiving to give. So the question is, that's the quantum reality. When you have the collapse of the local reality, you have the quantum reality. Okay, that's a basic, given a law of physics. Having said that, the most important question that the Haredi community is most interested to know is, what does it mean? It's derived from the Ashlogian, the blessed memory of Yehuda Leib Ashlog's articulation of receiving to give, which means receiving the authentic you, to give the authentic you to yourself and to others. And this is differentiated by the fact that in exile, in giving to receive, that was the model in which we functioned. We paleled, we performed the mitzvot, we would give to get. That's giving to receive. Receiving to give is receiving the authentic you. And the authentic you is defined by the one within that is not the klipa, the impersonator self of the mind. The authentic self, and that's what we are compelled. And interestingly enough, receiving to give is also the halakha of redemption. So that's what receiving to give means. It means receiving the authentic you, and not the clip or imitation or person yourself that we did in exile, in order to give that authentic self to ourselves each and every day of our lives, and to others. To teach this to our children and to our families and to our community, because this is the certain and only way in which we inhabit the quantum reality. And what is the quantum reality? The quantum reality is redemption. The question is, if we were unable to inhabit this authentic self, the question is why. And I've already explained that, but I'm going to repeat it, and that is that we lived and existed and prayed in the model of exile, which was giving to receive. We could not overcome that. And on 9/11, the event of 9/11 collapsed the local reality. And that was the watershed event of history in New York, when Kodesh Baruch Hu spoke to the Rove, and the meta-narrative of that event. There's the official narrative, which we've heard reported in all the press, but the meta-narrative, which our sages tell us is the theophany of God speaking. And the question is, what did he say? And the grammar of the meta-narrative of 9/11 is the klipa that we could not remove. Was the Kodesh Baruch Hu intervened in history with the Rove, and New York was the largest Jewish community in the world, and that's the halakha. When the Kodesh Baruch Hu speaks, he speaks to the Rove, and he did. And the meta-narrative and meaning of that event and the collapse is the collapse of the klipa, of the mind, the impersonator self. The Sigul Bikr self was the klipa that blinded us in exile. That was collapse. That's the meaning of the event of 9/11. That's what happened on 9/11. And the collapse of the local reality proceeded began in February 26th with the beginning of the invasion of Iraq, when America drove Iraq out of Kuwait, and subsequently the same year on the 25th of December, there was in the Soviet Union there was the collapse of communism. That was its local reality. That collapsed, and then on November 5th, 1995, there was the murder of Rabin, and that collapsed the local reality of Israel, which was its Zionism. And we had 9/11 in New York on September the 11th, 2001, and then after that we had the confirming. Universal confirming event and its grammar, which was the tsunami. Man is not in his place, and redemption is next, and it's not a choice. And we've had 6 or 7 subsequent events and their grammars local to Israel and the region that confirmed the collapse of the local reality. So the quantum reality that replaces the collapsed local reality, which is giving to receive. Giving to receive was the local reality. It's collapsed, and what replaces it is receiving to give. And in the religious parlance, it's also the Holocaust of redemption. And now we know what receiving means. And receiving means receiving the authentic you, to give the authentic you, to yourself, to your children, to your family, community, and to the world. 24/7, 365 for the rest of your life. And so the local reality is no more, it's collapsed. But we are not in the quantum reality yet. We're unable to inhabit redemption because of our denial. In Eretz Israel and the diaspora, we're denying the collapse of the local reality. So the next step is for us to end. Baruch Hashem, with God's help, we will end the denial. We will deconstruct the ground zero. We will deprogram the mind of exile, and we will indeed inhabit the quantum reality, and we will lead ourselves, Eretz Israel, Klal Yisrael, in the world, because that's our destiny, and that's what we're required to do. So the framework in which this will occur, that derives from the Torah, is Humanomics, which is the East West Convergence Model that replaces the collapse of the local reality globally. And its central organizing principle, again, is receive it to give, and the integration of labor. That's the new economic paradigm. The new economic paradigm is central to the new world economy. I'm not going to talk about that because that's a separate video. But now at least I've focused and we've together learned and focused on what is receiving to give. And I invite your questions, video questions, blog, email. My name is Yeshua Yaakov ben Avraham. I live in Jerusalem. My email is yyba@zachav.net.il. The website will soon be put back up, which is Macrotech, www.macrotech. I don't remember it offhand. I'll post all of the graphics on the subsequent videos, but it's not on the web in any event. It's being redesigned right now. Presently, also, in addition to I'm writing a trilogy called Humanities, and the most important of the 3 volumes is for the Haredi community, certainly, is the 2nd volume, which is Receiving to Give, and that will answer a lot of questions. Most significantly, in the new halakhic framework, there will be a speaker will derive from that halakhic framework. There will be a commentary, Parush, on the Amidah, which will help us ascend the very steep learning curve of redemption, which provides the grammars and the relationships for us to understand what is actually going on and their meaning. Tshuva is redefined at its core. The most significant new insight is that authentic tshuva and redemption is centered upon our doing tshuva based on the sin of omission as a priority, and our sins of commission come second to our sin of omission. So the sin of omission recognizes that the greatest sin we've done in exile is omitted our